I think we're going to stay here in Orlando. We're going to talk to Paul. He's got a 2015 Subaru. And, Paul, you got an AC problem.
Okay, Larry, this is Paul. We've talked a couple of times about this specific problem where I had a Freon leak over where the high and low pressure goes into the TXV valve. I put a set of O-rings in, ended up doing it a second time, and it looked like I was in good shape at that point. And I had no dye coming out. I check it all the time, but there was always dye on the block, the TXV block. I never knew if it was blowback from where it used to be leaking or not. So I always used to clean it. But now, once again, I lost the charge, and we were up in Ocala over the weekend, and so it kind of hung in, we made it back home, I charged it up again, and it's cooking again. But it looks like I'm probably going to have to pull the TVX out and put O-rings in that one. Very disappointing what's, going on. I've never experienced this much with any car, all the systems I worked on. And one interesting phenomena is that when it was working partially, you had cool air. The air on the passenger side was much cooler. It was actually cold, much cooler than the air coming out of the left side, the driver's side.
That's common. That is common when your refrigerant is low.
Yeah, I haven't come across that yet, but I thought that was an interesting phenomena. But one day we're going to talk about quadra-deck cars. But today I'm going to stick with the Subaru and just see if you have any comment why I'm just.
Paul,
this,
listen. I'm gonna tell you. I got hard-headed mechanics, even the ones that work for me, and some over years past. They believe that adding dye to the AC system is the holy grail. Me, I think it is. If you've got a gross leak and it's in an area that you can actually see, then that's fine. But in most cases, you got maybe a little leakage around at the bottom of the AC compressor, somewhere buried that you can't even see. Maybe a condenser up towards the top, it's got a slow leak. There's no oil or there's no dye, because everything tries to run out towards the bottom of everything. I'm telling you, the dye is a good thing. But me personally, there is no replacement for an electronic leak detector. That is the holy grail as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people like to use the dye and stuff, but it's like this. All right, let's just say, for an example, you've got a leak in your evaporator that's encased in an evaporator case, hidden in behind the dash of the car. It could be leaking like a sieve, and you're never going to see the dye if it is leaking. So an electronic leak detector, any do-it-yourselfer that takes care of his own vehicles, his family vehicles, stuff like that, I'm telling you, if you buy a Snap-on leak detector or Blue Point or something like that, them things get expensive. I mean, you'd be $500-600. But you can buy inexpensive ones online, something, consumer grade type of leak detector. And the only thing I could warn you about it is just make sure when you're not using it, take the batteries out, because that's the only thing that really kills them, is batteries go bad and messes up the circuit boards inside of them. But an electronic leak detector for AC, 134, and, now with this YF, 1234 refrigerant. Folks, do you all know that stuff is almost $200 a pound now? Can you imagine if your AC system holds 5 pounds of refrigerant, like on a pretty good size bus or something like that? You're looking at $1,000 just in refrigerant. Now, Paul, I'll tell you what, that'll take all that'll take all of the do-it-yourselfer out of it when you start buying YF refrigerant. 134 right now, you're still pretty lucky, because I think it's still like $50-60 a pound. But when you start getting into the YF that they use in the newer vehicles, it is crazy money. But seriously, if I was you, Go online, find you an electronic leak detector. You can pinpoint exactly what's leaking and where. You can feed it down through your AC vents all the way down into the evaporator case. If that evaporator's leaking like a sieve, you're going to know it, and you're going to know that it's going to be more than just those O-rings that you continually keep replacing to no avail. Paul, thank you so much for being our first caller today, and make sure you give us a call back and check in and let us know how you're progressing with this. You know there's always professional help out there if you need it, right?
For automotive information, maybe you got automotive questions on cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Maybe you're thinking about maybe purchasing a used vehicle, and maybe you just want my opinion. Tune in to the Magic Mechanic radio show every Saturday, 3 to 5 p.m. on WDBO.com. Also, tune in to our Magic Mechanic YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll all get together, maybe fix a few cars while we're at it.